If you think of RevOps as this glorified CRM admin that maybe knows a couple more tools, it is not a good investment or a good way to think about that. If you think about RevOps instead as we have somebody on staff who is going to understand how we create revenue. They're going to know that backward and forward, and they're going to know how it affects sales, marketing, and CS. And they're going to be able to help us deeply understand what works and what doesn't, what trends there are. They are then going to be able to give that list of, if we do these 5 things, our revenue growth is going to skyrocket. Our CAC is going to drop dramatically. We are going to see meaningful results. But that requires somebody who's in the system consistently, who sees the data, who understands it at a deep level. It's not enough to just approach a certain project, check it off the list, and then send everybody home. The other thing is, even if you think everything is going great, there is constant change in the world. Whether it's the economy shifts, something in your industry is new, or the tools you're using roll out new updates. It is so helpful to have someone on staff, have a RevOps agency like RevBlack there, to be able to guide you through those changes, who stay up to date on all of the new trends and tools and updates. If you're left on your own trying to keep up, you will immediately fall behind. You need someone who's an expert team that can keep you up to date and on top of things. The other reason why I highly recommend that you do not take sort of this task-based approach is it turns your CRM into like an archaeological dig. Sometimes when I go into a CRM, it's like I can see, hey, from this layer to this layer, I can see there was maybe someone who was in charge of sales or marketing and they did things this way. And then before that, I can see there was somebody else who doesn't work here anymore and they had everything completely different. And before that, it's a completely different story. None of the data is consistent. It's not backwards compatible. It becomes incredibly difficult because you're stopping and starting consistently. A solid RevOps function means that it doesn't matter as people shift or as people go through the organization, you have a system that's resilient and it's more than just one person's personality. It's actually a system that's best for the business that helps it grow in the long term. And the other thing is if you invest in RevOps and you do it right, it's going to cause your business to grow. And that means the old systems and the old processes that you had in place probably won't work anymore. They now need to work at a bigger scale. And so things are going to constantly be updating and growing and changing. When you think about it, it's, nope, I just need to get from here to here. That's fine. But it doesn't work like that. It's sort of a momentum thing. And you're going to kill yourself by constantly stopping and starting. The companies I see that invest in RevOps consistently, and not just to get a few band-aids put on the system here and there, but the ones that truly invest in the systems, they are the ones that grow at that consistent level. And when they hit the ceiling, when the old system doesn't work anymore, when that report breaks, it's not a big deal to get that fixed. But the ones who don't do that, when those things happen, it's a nightmare to get solved and it becomes a ceiling they can't get past. One of the things that matters the most in RevOps is consistency. It's growth, there is always change, but you need a RevOps team that is making things as consistent as possible, as repeatable as possible, as simple as possible. Otherwise, you're just putting band-aids on a broken system that will hurt you in the long run. Another way I think about this is sometimes it feels like there are businesses who are trying to plug holes in their leaky roof rather than just fixing the entire roof, replacing it in a way that allows it to not be such an issue, but instead they're kind of fixing each individual tiny problem. Think about it from a bigger perspective. Try to have more of an abundance mindset instead of a scarcity mindset, and you're going to realize that that investment pays for itself many times over. The other thing that a long-term investment in RevOps can do is help you anticipate issues, not just react to them when they happen. But when you have a resource that's in the system that knows what they're doing, they're likely able to see around the corners a little bit better. And they'll be able to tell you, hey, there's big updates coming to this tool we use, or hey, we noticed this big change coming that might affect our pipeline forecast 3 months from now. Thanks for watching.